What's up, Commanders fans? So a lot of guys are feeling like Jayden Daniels is not going to have a great year this year. And the reason why they say that is because Jayden Daniels now has a full year worth of footage on him. And, usually when guys get a whole year worth of footage, they go down. And, a lot of guys are pointing to C.J. Stroud and the year he had and the second year he had and how they were completely different. But it was a lot of factors that went into C.J. Stroud having a down year. And most of it had to do with a lot of his wide receivers getting injured. And to point back to Jayden Daniels and why this is not going to be a down year for him, and I can see him just elevating as long as everybody stays healthy, is because, one, Jayden doesn't stop learning. And you got to think about this. The player that we thought Jayden was last season, he wasn't. We thought he was just going to be a regular-ass rookie. He was not a regular-ass rookie. He was a veteran. You had to play him like you play Lamar Jackson, like you play Joe Burrow. You had to play him like you play Matthew Stafford. Like, you had to play him the same as those guys. And in my opinion, he played better than most of the top guys that played. And think about the games that he played against Joe Burrow, won it. Had a 90 completion rate, right? So he only missed 2 completions, right? And he played his ass off. And that's when we really got to see the Jayden Daniels that we didn't even know we had. And then to see him go into the playoffs and play the Lions and have an even better game. And to see that, it was like, okay, wait, this is not a normal kid at all. And a lot of guys around the league say the same exact thing. He doesn't play like a normal rookie. So you have to play him like a veteran. So what that means is he's already ahead of his time. So the fact that he already has the same guys in his locker room that he had last season, and when I say that, I'm talking about Terry McLaurin, a guy that they really started clicking into in the end of the season, midway through the season. They start really getting the grasp of things. Him and Zach Ertz. And to have them still there. And then the fact that I hear noise about us playing Terry, and Adam Peters came out and said that he wants Terry to be here for a very long time. And the fact that that's going to aid in Jayden's development, seeing that he has another year with Terry. Of course, he had another year because Terry still has a contract. But Terry still is going to continue to be here. And that tells me that they're working on a contract. And not just a contract. I'm sure something that keeps him here for a very long time. Or maybe till he retires. And that's good for Jayden. And then, of course, I know this might be the last year for Zach Ertz because he's old. And I understand that he, for himself, knows that he doesn't have much to give Jayden after this year. But to have him back on a second year knowing that they were clicking is phenomenal. And then to have another weapon in your arsenal. Of course, you had Diami last year, but Diami's gone. It's okay. It's cool. You know why? Because we brought in Debo. And Debo is going to be our weapon in the backfield, on the outside, in the slot, wherever they decide to put him to mix things up. And then we got rid of Olamide Zaccheaus. Okay, cool. No problem. He went to the Bears. But I'm not worried. You know why? Because we have Michael Gallup, a guy that can do phenomenal things on the outside. And he can do phenomenal things with the back of the touchdown area. I forget what it's called. Can't think of it right now. But he's good with the sideline catches, is what I meant to say. And, bruh, like, I'm just thinking, like, yo, it's so much growth that he's already done, and he has more growth to do. So you got to think about where he was last season and where he could possibly be this season. We didn't even know what we had on the roster. We had Cleveland Farrell there. He's still back, but still, we had him. We had Dante Fowler. We had a lot going on. We had a lot of guys had 1-year deals. We had Jeremy Chin. Of course, he did his thing, but he let up. When you point to the small details and you take a step back and you see that, wow, hold on. Jeremy Chin wasn't as good as I thought he was last season. Of course, he was making big hits. He was making plays. But he wanted money elsewhere. He wanted to go elsewhere. And he felt like what we were trying to give him wasn't worth it. So he moved on. Cool. We're not going to sit there and cry about it. We're going to move on. Because I want you to understand, Adam Peters has been making moves to get almost any and everybody. And DJ Reed is one of them, cornerback that went to the Lions. And, you know, he tried to, we've been hearing a lot of news about him trying to get Trey Hendrickson. And, of course, they want to keep him. So, and then him making a big move to go get Laramie Tunsil and giving up 4 draft picks, 2 this year, 2 next year, to get him was a huge risk. But it was something that needed to be done, because you know what that does for Jayden? That gives him more protection, more time in the pocket to know that he can trust his blind side is protected, you know, and have Coleman move to right tackle if possible. You know, Andrew Wiley is there right now, but who knows how they're going to mix things up. And, you know, you never know where they're going to put people, but it all depends on how they function together. And a lot of the holes that we had last season, we're filling them up. Of course, we still need an extra running back. We need a different type of running back. Maybe Travion Henderson. And or maybe Amarion Hampton. You know, maybe I'm messing these names up. I'm butchering them up, but it's a lot of guys that we could possibly get. Maybe Caleb Johnson, you know, and I'm tearing his name up. It's probably not even Johnson, but when I tell you, it's a lot of guys that we could possibly get, because it's a draft filled with running backs that. And then, you know, another thing that I also want to highlight about Adam Peters, when it's a lot of noise and you already know what he's going to do, he doesn't go that route. And I'm just going off of last season. Last season, a lot of guys thought, oh, we were going to trade back. Like, what? Out of your mind in the first round. And we didn't. And then the things that we don't know, he does. You know what I'm saying? So, like last season, we thought first pick in the second round, first pick in the second round, they thought, oh, we were going to get left tackle right out the box, right? As soon as the draft began, we thought that's what was going to happen. No, we ended up trading that pick to get some more picks and ended up getting 3 guys instead of 2 guys that we could have got in the second round. And Jerzon Newton was one of the guys that we got. And who knew that we needed that spot filled? Because, like I said before, in the beginning of the season, we ended up losing Jonathan Allen, right? And who had to fill the role? Jerzon Newton. So it just was perfect timing. And it was like, yo, all right, hold up. Let me back up. And then we got Michael Sanders still, who was the best defensive back rookie last season. And I'm like, to have 14 pass deflections, 2 interceptions in the regular season, 2 interceptions in the playoffs, and I believe he had 4 more pass deflections in the playoffs. And to have all that is just crazy. And to not be the defensive player of the year is crazy too. But when it comes to a rookie. But I'm just like, yo, it's so much that we were missing last season that we have right now. Of course, we need middle linebacker, because it's going to be just 1 year for Bobby Wagner. And I know Bobby is probably going to retire after this year. And, you know, it's a lot of areas that we needed help in. Last season, it was a lot of help that we needed in the cornerback position. I don't know what's going to be in the first round. But for me, what I believe we should do in the first round, it all depends, like I said, it all depends on who's there when it comes time for us to pick and what guys are willing to give up if we decide to give up that 29th pick in the first round. Because it makes or break our team. We only got 5 picks. And last season, Adam Peters had 9 to use. So I'm sure in a way he feels like, damn, I need some of that. And it would be great to have as many picks as the Ravens or as many picks as the San Francisco 49ers. And they both got 11 picks to use, you know. So I look forward to seeing what Adam Peters does with the draft, but it's like, yo, we really don't know because, of course, he could go and get a safety like Malachi Starks, or he could go get I be messing these guys' name up because it be sounding the same. Hairston, the cornerback from Kentucky, we can go out and get him, in the first round, or he could use that first round pick and trade back, and maybe have an opportunity to get Travion Henderson or Omarion Hampton if somebody doesn't pick them up before we get them, And I don't see us getting them, honestly, because there's so many people that need running backs, and why would I pass up when I could get them in the first round? And like I hear a lot of people say, when you got a guy that you want, no matter where he's at, get him, because it's no likelihood that he's gonna be there, because you got to get him when you see him, and if you got the opportunity, go for it. And I don't know if we trade back and we go get a running back that can complement Brian Robinson, cool. If not, I think Travion Henderson would be perfect for Brian Robinson, because Brian Robinson is a power back and he does good at what he does good at. He's not going to give you that creative run. He's not going to give you the Saquon Barkley run. He's not going to give you that. He's not going to give you that energy, that boost. But he will hit some guys for you, and he will go out there and move the chains. He can do that. But for him to take on every down, it's not his thing. It's not at all. And we need a spark in the running back position, and he's not it. But he can complement the person that we do get to be that spark. But if we don't have that opportunity, I can see us getting rid of Brian Robinson if anybody's interested. And like I said, I keep saying it, a third round pick would be perfect. But who knows what he's going for? Who wants him? And for what we have right now is perfect. And like I said before, that Jayden Daniels, quarterback coach that he's had for multiple years, even when he was little, that he said what he's trying to work on with Jayden is his new drops, adding new drops to where guys can't figure you out on defense. They can't, DBs can't just see like, oh, okay, he's going to take 3 steps, boom, all right, cool. No, he's trying to disguise it in a way where you don't know what he's going to do with those 3 steps, 2 steps, 4 steps, And, with us having Laramie Tunsil, that gives us more time in the pocket. Hopefully, I'm just going off what we hope will happen. And last season, Jayden had 2 games where he was not sacked at all, right? And that just shows what we could be if guys lock in. And now that we have somebody else there, what else would that do? How many more games can we go without him getting touched? And he was sacked 47 times. Can we get it to 30? And then the next season, can we get it lower than that? I want my man's untouched. I want him to look like Josh Allen out there. Josh Allen got sacked 14 times this season. That is beautiful. And to have that, even Jordan from the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, he got sacked 14 times. So I want us to look like that. I want Jayden to be healthy. Imagine if Jayden don't get touched. He's going to continue to get down the field, bruh. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Bruh, honestly, that was a terrible year for him. And people think he can't get better than that? 3,500 yards, only 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Think about that. 5 touchdowns in the playoffs, 1 interception in the playoff. And the interception that he threw in the playoffs was forced. So understand that he has so much to grow. And this is just the bottom half of what he could do. And I'm just thinking like, yo, it's so much he can possibly do. And he did it with less. A terrible defense. Not super terrible, but they wasn't a top 10 defense going into the playoffs. And then, most of them games relied on him. As long as his defense got him an opportunity in the end of the game, he had it. He closed it out for us. And that's what Jayden does. So to have him be a guy that can finish a game, if you give him the drive, a great game manager, a guy that can get away from sacks, avoid sacks, throw on the run, we got everything we need. His offense is looking good. We just need a running back on offense and another wide receiver. Now, if we want to move the defense, we know we need a lot. We need a defensive end. We need to see if Kinlaw is Kinlaw. Is the Kinlaw that we just paid $45 million? We need to see if these cornerbacks going to show up. We need to see if Marshawn Lattimore is going to be the Marshawn Lattimore that we used to see with the Saints. We need to see if he's going to show up. And the way I see it is the year you get injured, you're going to have a down year, right? And sometimes the year after is a good year for you. AP did it. I would say Chase Young did it. Chase Young, he got injured. Of course, he tried to come back and play. But the year after, he been looking good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think this would be a better year for Marshawn Lattimore, but I wouldn't depend on him to be my CB1. So it's like, I know we got to go get somebody. And right now, I don't know if it's him. I don't know if he's feeling better with all this off time. But hopefully, we got Marshawn Lattimore. We got Mikey Sanderstill, who is a beast. And who knows, he might be playing outside this season, and they might just allow Marshawn to play slot. I don't know how they're going to mix it up. But he has chemistry with Will Harris. So Will might be calling some things and letting him know some things and allowing him to play faster. So that could be a thing. And then we got Jonathan Jones, who's played and got 2 Super Bowls. Of course, he didn't play in one of them, but he did play in another. And he played good. Good enough to get the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about chemistry. Chemistry is a lot. I know I say it a lot, but it means a lot. If guys can get on the same page, if they speaking, if they vocal, if they talking to each other, letting guys know what's going on, that can do great for guys like Quan Martin. That can do great for guys like Mikey Sanderstill, Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu got his duo back with Bobby Wagner. Everybody, they already was working together. Then you got Kinlaw down there. You got Goldman down there. You got Payne down there. You got Drazan back. This is guys, all these guys, this is most of the guys that was here last year. This is their second year in this same offense, this same defense. Where do you think they're going to go? You only get better when you're doing the same thing. You can only get better. That wasn't the case for Jamin Davis, but you only get better when you want to get better and you want to work. And just everybody feeds off of these guys right here on the team. I'm about to tell you who. Terry, Jayden Daniels, and then Bobby Wagner, right? And there's one more. I forgot his name. But these are the 3 guys that these guys feed off. And special teams. Jeremy Reeves, right? People feed off of their energy. And that allows everybody to work. Even Dan Quinn. Everybody feeds off of Dan Quinn's energy as well. And Frankie Louvu, when he do that wacha, with the wacha, with the wacha, that's what really get him. So another year to wacha, we're going to be all right. Jayden Daniels don't stop working. And Mom is making sure that he don't stop working. She ain't letting nothing come his way. So she blocking it all. So she gonna make sure he gonna be all right. He gonna be on point for another year. She might let off him once he get a Super Bowl. But while we still working, she ain't letting up. And thank you, Ma. Appreciate it. Right now ain't the time to play. Come on, Jayden, stay focused, man. Give her a little peck and get back to moving, man. Kiss her leg and you can get back to it, man. You can be all right. Right now, we ain't focused on that, man. We focus on Super Bowl, man. You got so close. Got so close. He was one game away. All he had to do was win that game. He was going to be there. And everybody say if he would have won, he would have said, if he would have won the Super Bowl, he would have said, damn, that was easy. Like, of course, I would have too. All the humbleness go out the window. But we got Jayden for another year, man. I'm excited, man. And we know we got him for the next billion years. And he outshined everything that we thought he was going to be. We thought he was going to be a RG3 2.0. And he wasn't. He was a Jayden Daniels. And we got to see that. And we haven't seen that in this franchise for a long time. So that meant a lot for everybody that lives here in this DMV area. And to have these guys ready again. And, of course, we got holes to fill. But Adam Peters will fill them. And think about how many holes we had last season. And we got to the NFC Championship with them holes. So, ain't no problem. Stop complaining. We're going to be all right. And if Travion Henderson is there at the 29th pick and we still got it, get him. I could care less about defense. I could care less if we number one offense and the 32nd defense. I don't care. I don't care. It's like, no, I'm playing, but I'm out though.